In the meantime, as the wait times are quite lengthy at times, as a family, what should we be doing? Is there anything we can do?
Yeah, well, there's services like through places like Autism New Zealand or Altogether Autism that people can access supports. They run quite a lot of really cool programs, and you often don't need a diagnosis in order to access those. People might, if they did again want to look at the private sector, there are speech language therapists and occupational therapists or psychologists who they can still go to for support with working on what it is that they know their child is having a bit of difficulty with.
Yep.
So people can still access those kinds of supports without having any form of diagnosis.
Like we said, you can also access the mainstream supports as well.
Yeah.
So you either through just so a parent can self-refer to Ministry of Education around support, particularly for under fives, but also later you can discuss with your preschool or school what they're seeing and think together what you can share your insights with them, and that helps build a team around your child that's thinking together. And also you can discuss with your GP or anybody who's working for the Ministry of Education, like a speech language therapist or Helen or another child development coordinator that might be around having a referral to your local child development service to access some support from perhaps from an occupational therapist around sensory and emotional processing or managing everyday routines.
And there's also a program run by Explore for 0 to 9-year-old children, for families. You don't need a diagnosis to be able to do their course called Exploring Autism, which can give you some more insights and some ideas as well. So you need to be thinking along the autism line for that. So for someone with an interim diagnosis or anything like that, then you can access that without the diagnosis. Not just anyone, but if you're thinking autism, then that.
And they have their Teen Life program as well.
Yeah.
You generally need a diagnosis for that one, but for the Exploring Autism one, you don't.
And another cool program that both preschools and parents can do is Incredible Years Autism, and that's for 2 to 5-year-olds, and that you don't need a formal diagnosis for.
And I think you can self-refer, can't you? So that makes it easy. You don't need to have seen your paediatrician or anything.
For young people themselves, or say you had a young person who was 10 or 12 or 14, together just looking at information about autism and thinking about whether that makes sense to them. And often people self-identify and don't have a formal diagnosis or self-identify in the process, and being able to look at that together as a parent and a young person and just thinking about what that means for me can often be really empowering.